What they do, YouTube? What they do, man. Look at him back again, man. Giving you guys some good information. Look, before we even get started, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep it real with you, man. I'm going to keep it 1,000, man. I'm going to take you guys back to the crack era in Florida, man. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, Broward, Fort Miles and Fort Miles boys, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville. I'm going to take you back to the days, man, when we were just out here getting money, man. That's what it was all about, just getting money. And the feds came in and locked a lot of the homies off. They came through and did a sweep, man. It was all designed that way. So that's the thing about it, man. The crack era and that cocaine era, it was designed to get us off the streets. And then when they took us off the streets, it left all our kids out here to defend for themselves. Then they brainwashed them to do the things that they doing now. That's why the world's so fucked up. We were supposed to be the ones out here to help educate these guys, but they had our mind going with the money. We out here trying to get some money with that crack cocaine. Don't know we playing with our life. With that motherfucking cocaine and all this shit, guns and pistols, we playing with our life, man. We finna be taken off the streets. They're gonna get us, put us in chains, and have us locked down for 10 and 15, 20 years, and all that time for nothing. We have to be smarter than that. So what I do is try and educate you guys to let you see this is what the ins and outs were. This is what happened to me when I came up. This is why I'm out of the game. I got the #1 magazine in the nation right now. We got the baddest thing out there right now, man. You see what's on here. This is the baddest publication in the nation. If you got a loved one in prison, you know what I'm saying? You got a loved one in prison, don't hesitate to send them a copy of Street Elements magazine, man. We the #1 magazine publication in the nation, state and federal prison, hands down. Believe that. Believe that. We got them babies in here, man. We got the finesse on here. Y'all know about the finesse, huh? Yeah, man. Come on, man. Yeah, man. We got that good, them donks in there. So you see what we got, we working with. This is the #1 publication in state and federal prison right now. We even finna get these things on the tablets. We finna make it digital. I got a digital publication already out there right now. So we want to get these things on the tablets, and then we're gonna take over the market. We're gonna take over the market. We got the best. It ain't no publication that can even, deal with this right now. Can't even compete with them. #1. But anyway, man, I'm gonna take y'all back to how I got my first plug. And I was a very loyal individual to the streets. When I say I was loyal, I took that shit for real, man. I understood what I was getting involved in. I understood certain rules and things that went about moving up the ladder. And I took that and I wore that on, I wore it on me right here. And that was just how I was raised, I ain't trying to never cross nobody. I always want to do good business. And that's what a lot of people don't know how to do in the streets is good business. So that's why it ain't no good. You can't do good business because everybody criminals. Everybody trying to get over. But when I was coming up, it was all about doing good business. Now, this is how I got my first plug. It was my big homie. And he had done just got popped with like 6 bricks. Somebody set him up. And he ended up getting like 19 years in prison. First time ever in trouble in his life. Right? And they gave him 19 years. He got caught with some soft and some hard, I believe. And that's why he got the 19 years. And he took it on the chin. He didn't tell on nobody. First time ever in prison. He took it on the chin, did his thing, He did his time and came back home. That's what you're supposed to do when you're involved in a situation like that. I always believe if you get caught, just go ahead and do your time and come back home. I think a lot of times you make it easier on yourself. You just go ahead and do your time and come back home. If you start telling this and telling them that, now you actually is offering information that they didn't have. Now you just make your case worse. A lot of people don't understand that. When you start talking and saying this and saying that, you're really making your case worse than what it is because now you volunteering information. Hey, y'all don't know that, but that's what it is. But anyway, after he left, shit dried up for a minute because his connect was scared. They didn't know what was going on. So his brother was still out, and he still had access to the connect, and I had some money, So once again, I said, well, look here, man, let's go holler at them people, man, see can we get something going on. So he said, you know what, let's go right out to their house. So we rode out to his house. He introduced me to him. I hadn't seen him once before. They hadn't seen me once before because I used to move a lot of work. I was young, I was out in the street. I was the type of guy, I can go to any neighborhood and I knew some guys I can do some business with. That's how I was. That's how I used to move around in the city. I know a lot of guys in different areas. Not a lot, but just a few who had the money. My thing was, when I was in the streets, I really only want to deal with the guys that got the money. It make it easy to do business. You dealing with guys got a couple of 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. You know, it's easy to do business with these guys when you sell them work like that on that type of level. You know, you go do a deal for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. It ain't nothing for these guys. If you go do business with somebody for a OZ and you bring him 27, he gonna be tripping by 1 gram, man. Dude dealing with blocks ain't tripping about all that shit, man. So it's easy to do business when you get dealing with guys with money, you know. But anyway, so we went out there, and they said, okay, they make some phone calls, and basically I trusted them with like $6,000. I gave them $6,000, you know. And what they did, they took my $6,000 and they made some phone calls, and they took a trip to Miami because they knew some people. They went down there with the 6,000 and made some connections with some people down there. And next thing you know, guess what? That work started flowing again. It was easy for the Colombians to get some work. They know people in Miami who already got it. Bunch of it. For real, that shit was flooded. It was easy to get work back then. It was flooded. And having a good relationship with them is very, very, very important, you know. But that's how I got my first plug. And from that plug, doing business with them for a few years, I was able to buy one of their plugs. Yeah, I bought a plug from my plug. Yeah, I did that before. And basically that plug cost me about $30,000. And how I bought that plug, you know, from my plug that I spent the $6,000 from. It was a situation where me and my partner at the time, he was end up short on some cheese. And I think he owed the people maybe about $40,000. He was behind. I think he was doing a lot of gambling at the time. And he had just got behind on some money, and some people owed him some money. But at this point, they were putting a lot of pressure down about the money. So the plug my first plug, the one that I spent the $6,000 for, they came to me and asked me, could I do them a favor? And I was like, well, what are these? And they said, well, could you let me borrow? A matter of fact, could you help me get out of this situation that, you know, at the time my partner had them in? Because at that point, I was getting my work, he was getting his work. So they were supplying both of us at that point, you know. So I was like, okay, well, what are they? They were like, man, I may need to borrow like $30,000. And they say, in return, this is what I will do for you. I will connect you with these people. And they'll look after you. I'm going to tell them that you are who you are, and boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to, because you're doing this for me, because you helping me get out of this situation, this is what I'm going to do to you to help pay you back, and I'm going to introduce you to them. That just made the work that I was already getting for a good price go down even lower by doing that favor. So we had a sit down. It was me, my partner, my first plug, and their plug that they was dealing with. And that was the people that they ended up turning me on to. But we had to sit down and we laid it all out on the table. He was like, basically, he told my partner, hey, look at him, man. This is the situation. These people about to send these people back up here. They've been putting a lot of pressure on them. Basically, the Colombians wanted to send them people back up to go handle that business because there was just too much money being owed out. And they were like, hey, the man got it. So the people had no choice but to tell them who had it. And back then, them Colombians would send them hitters to you to come handle that business if you owed them a significant amount of money. That's how that shit went down. So to stop that, I stepped in and I gave them the $30,000. I gave them the $30,000. But in return, they turned me on to their plug. Hey, to me, it was a win-win situation. Meaning, I'm going to save this situation right here myself so nothing will happen over here and we still keep this good. And in return, I'm showing them how loyal I am, how I could trust them with my money. So if I'm trusting you, I'm asking you to do the same. Let me be able to trust you. Let's do good business. And that's what we did. That's what we did. We did good business. We did great business together. But that was all just about being loyal, being solid. And sometime in the streets, like these days, you ain't gonna find too many people out there solid these days. Look at Young Thug's situation. You know, his situation different from mine because that situation is gang related. You know, it's dealing with a lot of violence, a lot of killing, senseless killing that I think like I said, back then we was talking about just getting money. See, the way the streets is now, it's most set up for the violence. As the most popular thing to be is violent. When we was coming up, the most popular thing was be about getting money. It wasn't about the violence. So that's how the things done switched this era. I don't understand how. It always should be about getting the money if you're out in the streets. But just know, being out in the streets, it come with consequences. And 9 times out of 10, it's prison. Because them niggas gonna tell on you. My bad, man. My bad, YouTube. I'm trying to get better with using those type of words. But they gonna tell on you, man. For real. You know, that's how the game's set up. Remember, the game is set up for us to lose, not to win. The game is set up for us to lose, not to win. That's why I try and advise all y'all young homies out there, man, to be on point. If you're making some paper out there, man, put that shit up and buy you some real estate. It's important. But anyway, man, that's how I bought my second plug, man. I got them through them by being solid and putting up $30,000. So that's why, you know, I was used to that, putting up money to show that I'm good, and that make the relationship be that much better when you're out in the street. That was back then. I don't know how it is now, you know. I'm just giving you some insight on how it was when I was coming up, you know. And shit, that shit was like clockwork, you know. You know, shit done changed now. There's a lot of scamming going on. Y'all really got it safer than how we were, man. We were really risking our life out there, man, getting caught with crack, coke. I mean, plenty of times I used to be riding around this motherfucker, man. And I could just remember, man, I had life sentences with me every day. I'm riding around like that, dirty like that. Not even knowing. You're going to take a dude a 1/4 ounce of hard or a half a brick of hard. That's a life sentence. If you get caught with it, that's a life sentence. You get caught with a half a brick of hard and a pistol. You out of there, dog. Now, these days, you getting caught with a half a brick of fentanyl, a half a brick of heroin with a pistol. You out of there. So I'm just trying to warn you guys, and you know, man, the shit really don't pay off at the end, man. You're gonna have about a 5 or 10 year run, man. So these stores that I be talking about, they ain't about a couple of years, 5, 10 years, 10-year run, 15-year run, and then your ass out of there. You do 15 out here, they gonna give you 30. That's how that shit work out here, man. So just be careful out there, man. That's my thing. I'm the warning before destruction. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And make sure if you got a partner or somebody doing time behind them walls, you send them a copy of Street Elements Magazine, the #1 publication in America. Believe that. Make it happen or you capping.